Good day, my listener. My name is Ambrose. Welcome back to today's study. Today we are going to talk about some basic features of computer environment. And remember, in our previous study we had some study on what is device and what is computer, hard copy and soft copy. So today we are going to continue from where we stop, and there are some basic tools we want to begin to lecture in order for you to have a full balance while you are accessing your computer. So some of the basic features on computer environment we are going to talk about today is icons and minimize, maximize and restore down, okay. Let me delete that and close, or you can also refer it as exit. The other one is a taskbar. Then we have a desktop. Okay, so let's begin. So what do I mean by icons? Alright, the icon here, look at it. In computer, all these selected items I just selected now, we refer them as icons. Alright, we refer them as an icon. All the selected items I just selected now in my screen, look at it, so we'll call them icons. Okay, so we won't talk about icons. For the purpose of this program, in due time we're going to discuss which one is icon, because even if we call all the selected item here as icon, later to come we are going to differentiate them, which one is icon, which one is folder, and which one is application. Okay, so what do I mean by icon? An icon is a representative. Okay, it's a representative of a graphical picture that contain different information in it. Let me bold this one to different from others. So when I mean icons, an icon is a representative of a graphical picture that contains different information in it. Now let me use this picture on the screen here to describe what I mean by icon. All the picture we have, the people that we have in this picture now, each of them are represent or can be referred as an icon, because when we say icon is referred as a picture. So each of every individual we have on this picture, refer them as icon. Each of them is a representative of a picture in their home. That's why sometimes when somebody exits, that is when somebody is late, we can say exit of an icon. The picture of the person that late is what we are referring as an icon. So each of these selected items are called icons. But for the purpose of this program, later to come, we are going to disclose to you which one is folder and which one is application, and so on. Okay, so that is what I mean by icon. So your icon is always on the left hand side of your screen. Alright, the left hand side of your screen in your desktop. So call them icons. Alright, okay, so then we have another one again, which is a minimize, maximize, restore down, and close or exit. Alright, this minimize, please take note, maximize, restore down, and close. I want to explain them in detail and how to use them while you are working in computer. Okay, in computer, all computer window comes with minimize, maximize, and restore down and close. Please take note, this very option in all computer window, this very option normally comes with two options, that is two commands. This option represents maximize and at the same time represents restore down. Please take note, this very point my mouse pointer is. This point can serve as, once you click on it, it has two commands. One, let's click. This is already right now. The state of this window is called maximize, but once I click on it again, it becomes restore down. So this very button represents two options, two important options, and today we are going to disclose to you how to use them while you are working. It is very important you know how to use them while you are working or while you are accessing your window in your office or in your laptop or anywhere you find yourself using computer to work. Alright, now what do I mean by minimize? Now this minimize, which is this first button, I cannot really tell you this is the right way to use it, but I want to teach you the principle or the protocol behind it on how to use them. There is no mandated default, or there's no default manner that this is how this minimize should be used. So how do we use this minimize? Now this minimize we are talking about as a beginner in computer. Whenever you open a window, because I told you that all computer window comes with minimize. This place carries two options, restore down and close. and maximize. Now each window that I open in computer, anywhere you are, whether you are using Windows 10, Windows 7 or Windows 8 or Windows XP, depends on the window you are using. Each of the window you open in computer comes with these 4 buttons. The minimize here simply means if you click on this minimize, the window will automatically reside in your taskbar, and we are going to discuss what I mean by taskbar in this video. If I click on minimize, it does not mean that you close this very window. The window is still ongoing. It's just like as you open app or you open something like WhatsApp in your phone. When you open it, you click on the home button, does not mean that you close the WhatsApp. So minimize, each time, please take note, each time the user open any window, let's assume I open this Zoom. Okay, let's wait while it loads. Okay, here it comes. Each time I open this window, remember this very icon, which is this icon Zoom window, was not here before, but immediately I click on it, it comes up in this point. So the right way to use run any application or any window you open, because if I click on each of these programs, you can refer them as computer window. Alright, so anytime I click on this window, since this window is currently open and I feel like maybe I want to access other option, maybe I want this very window, this Zoom cloud meeting, to move away from my view, maybe it's affecting my another window that I want to access, you can go ahead and minimize it. Look at it, just look at it, this place that my mouse pointer is. It does not mean that I have closed the Zoom. So at any point I want to use this particular window, I can still come back to this taskbar. Please take note, the whole of this place, look at it, from here to this edge, from here to this point, the whole of this place is called taskbar. Just look at it, please. This very place that my mouse pointer is, from this edge to this edge down to this extreme, we call it taskbar. From this edge to this edge, we call it taskbar. From this edge to this edge, we call it taskbar. Please take note, from this edge to this edge, we call it taskbar. We are going to disclose to you the major function of this taskbar, because I just mentioned to you that anytime you open each window in computer, it normally resides. It will reside in your taskbar. It will definitely reside in your taskbar, showing that the program is still running, showing that this is the program you are accessing currently. Sometimes it could be that you are not accessing that program, but it shows the numbers of programs you are currently running when the computer is power on. That is the major function of the taskbar. And sometimes the taskbar will help you in order not to maybe close some other program or affect some windows that you are accessing. Okay, so that's what I mean by minimize. Sometimes you can minimize this page and maybe you want to access some other window. Let's assume you want to watch some movie. Let's assume you come here, go to this movie, and right click on this particular place and open this movie. You can see I'm currently accessing this file now, which is this movie. But that does not mean that I can go ahead and minimize it. When I minimize it, the program is still ongoing. I can go ahead and close it if you feel like to close it. So all computer window comes up with these 4 commands, which is minimize, maximize, and close. I can decide to minimize this page. Does not mean that I have closed it. At any point, I can go back to my taskbar and identify the particular icons window. Click on this particular place and open the window that you previously opened. So I can go ahead and maximize. So that's what I mean by minimize. Minimize simply means to minimize a program in order for you to gain access to other programs. To minimize simply means when you minimize this particular window, you will not gain access. For instance, I maximize this window. If I maximize it, in order for me to gain access to other window, apart from you accessing some of those quick access at your left hand side, you can swear click on this particular minimize to reduce the view. To reduce the view in order for you to gain access to other windows. I can go ahead and click on the first button, look at it, minimize. So I can go ahead and do some other tasks or some other activity while that particular window is still ongoing. And sometimes when you open, let's say you came to your partner computer in office. If you want to use your partner computer in office and you open, let's assume you are working in a bank, you open one of the browser that's using to access customer activity for the day. Let's assume you open Edge. Maybe this is the browser they are using for the internet service. You don't need to close it. If you know within yourself that you are coming back to this window, or you are not the rightful owner of this computer at that moment, or you just want to access the person's computer, so it is advisable, 1, to minimize. Because if you did not minimize, you may tamper with the person file. So it is advisable to minimize. Minimizing, as we said earlier before, does not mean that you have closed the window. Does not mean that you close the person's window. You only minimize it. Maybe you are looking for a file, or you are looking for something for your partner computer. So by minimizing, we help you to gain access to other options. By minimizing, we help you to gain access to other options, or to reduce the window in order for you to see your desktop environment. So depends on the reason why you want to minimize. But remember what I told you, that if you know that the application you are using, like in my office, I've come to a contact whereby some of my colleagues, they can decide to just come and close my window, or maybe any of my staff or my student close my window. At the time they close this window, and I have important document, maybe I have online research, I have important document I'm currently running, maybe I went for break and the person closes by clicking on this button close, it will affect the entire this window. It will affect the work I'm currently running in this window. So if you open somebody's computer, or you currently open somebody's computer, and you knew within yourself that this computer you are currently using is not yours, it can be your partner computer, just go ahead. The major thing you need to do at that particular time is to minimize. So when you minimize, you will now gain access to other activity within the computer system. And when you minimize, automatically the information that you minimize, or the window that you minimize at that particular time, immediately reside in your taskbar. Look at it. But if I close it, let's close. If I close it, you will see this very window will no longer exist again. Look at it. This place that my mouse pointer is. If I click on this particular place, it will no longer exist in your taskbar again. But in any point, let's assume I close it. You can see now. If I close it and it's still existing here, don't bother yourself. It's because you ping it, or it's because the application itself ping on its own when you install the application. When I mean ping, we'll talk about that later. So we'll discuss on how to ping application in your taskbar. Ping simply means to permanently keep the file in that particular place. But you can still go ahead and ping it, to ping the app, so that for easy access. So that's what I mean by that, minimize. Then the next button there, we have what to call restore down. Remember what I told you, that we have two options here. One, as it is now, the window is currently on maximize mode. What do I mean by maximize mode? When you maximize, look at it. I can see this environment. This environment, what we mean by desktop, we'll call it desktop. Okay, so if I decide to maximize, this very window, this picture of this window now will cover the entire screen. And when you maximize a window, that window must definitely cover the entire screen. And when it covers the entire screen to the size of the screen, let's click on maximize. Click. You can see this window has covered the entire screen. That I mean by maximize. It has exceeded the minimum size of your screen. If I click on restore down, it will reduce the size of the window. Let's click again, maximize. Let's click again, restore down. Let's click again, minimize. You can see it here. Let's click again. So if I'm coming back again to this very application, if I want to access this application again, all you need to do, just look at it on your taskbar. That's to show that the application is still running. But remember what I told you, that sometimes it can be showing your taskbar and you have closed it. It means that you ping the app. And I told you that for the purpose of this lecture, I will teach you how to unping and ping application in your taskbar. So I can go ahead and close. If I click on this button close, this my taskbar, this very browser, which is this Microsoft Edge, will no longer exist again in my taskbar. Okay, will no longer exist again in my taskbar. I can click on close. Look at, can you see it now? Come back again to this our Zoom Cloud meetings. I can click on close. If I click on close, this very window will no longer exist again in our taskbar. Click on close. All right, but sometimes when you want to close some window, maybe you have not saved that window, some of those windows may ask you some important question. Do you want to save me and others? Okay, so we'll talk about that later. So for the purpose of this lecture is one, how to access your window or how to access your Collins window when or if it happen to be that is not your laptop, and the laptop the person gave you, please just access this my very laptop. So when you open it, you should be able to know that maybe your Collins is using your, or you are using your Collins laptop. You can go ahead and minimize. Minimize simply means you minimize your Collins window, and so that you can be able to gain access to that particular window. Or it could be that it's your own personal computer and maybe you are searching for a document. You can decide to minimize that particular window in order for you to gain access to that another window. Or when you minimize it, you are still coming back again to make use of that window. There are many reasons why you need to minimize or maximize and close. So I believe I've explained what I mean by minimize, maximize, and close. Please try to practicalize it in order for you to master how these functions are being used. Alright, thank you. So the other one we're going to talk about taskbar. Okay, what do I mean by taskbar? Let us see what I mean by taskbar. A taskbar is a bar that detects, okay, or let me use small letter. It's a bar that detects taskbar that display. It's a bar that display any running application, or window. Remember, window, any running application or window the user is currently using, or open when the computer is power on. So this is what I mean by taskbar. Hence, it also display some tools. So it also displays some tools at the right hand side. Look at it. Okay, your battery and your time and other things. Can you see it? So this is some of the function of the taskbar. Apart from when I said anytime you minimize, it resides in your taskbar. Okay, so the taskbar also shows the level of your battery and some other activities that the taskbar does. So this is what I mean by taskbar. So the taskbar is a bar that display any running application. So each application you open your computer, you should be able to see it in your taskbar. For instance, I come here, I double click on it, I maximize. You see the app is still running my taskbar. Okay, I can go ahead and close. If I minimize, you see it in your taskbar. Okay, I can go ahead and click on close. Okay, so you can come here and ping it. Let's ping to our taskbar. Ping, more option. Ping to taskbar. Click on it. You can see now. This is what I mean. that each time you ping any application, sometimes it could be that you are not the one that ping it at the initial time you install it, or you don't know how it come about. You don't even know how the application came about. So each time you close, let's assume I close now, let's watch, I minimize, it's still there. You can see that it's active. This is the one that we are currently running. If I click again, you can see Abi, but if I close, the application will still be existing. To you would think that maybe, why is it that the application we are talking about did not close? Yes, because I ping it. The reason why I ping it, in case maybe I want to access the application, or I want to open the application in any time I want to access it, or anytime I open my computer and I want to access it. You don't need to stress yourself all over to come to this point and be searching for application or looking at it, or to launch it through your desktop. All you need to do, just for you to click on it on your taskbar for easy access. So you can swear right click on this place and unping. So when I want to start this video, I unping it for the purpose of this lecture, so that we'll get the view of this taskbar and other things that we are discussing. So I can go ahead and unping it. Alright, so that's what I mean by the taskbar. So remember what I told you, that the taskbar is about that display or detect or whatever display any running application or window the user is currently using or open when the computer is power on. Are you getting now? So that is the major function of the taskbar. So the whole of this place will call it a taskbar. Then why desktop? This very home is called desktop. Okay, this very home we are presently now, we'll call it a desktop. So each time, what do I mean by desktop? Each time you open any of the window, you maximize. Anytime you minimize, once all the window has been minimized, because sometimes you may open up to, let's say you open Microsoft Edge, you minimize again, you open another program again, maybe you maximize, you minimize. You can open up to let's say, depends on the numbers of the application you are using at that moment, but each time you open them, your taskbar store all your running applications. You can go ahead and reduce it. So you can see now, this one is the main these are some of the windows that I've opened so far. I can go ahead and click on this particular place, click and you close, click and you close. Be very careful where you are closing, because it could be that that application you are closing is very important to you, or you have not saved the document and you are about to close it. So very conscious while you are closing, okay, especially when it comes to be that the laptop you are, or the window you are about to close is not your laptop. So you just take permission to access the window. So be conscious while you are closing it. So this is how to close your application. There's other alternative ways you can close our application using your keyboard. We are going to disclose this thing, all this shortcut to you in due time, or for the purpose of this lecture, so you know how to access your window properly. So this is how to access your window and minimize, maximize and close. I told you how to make use of this minimize, maximize and close. The purpose of this some basic features of this computer environment tools is to equip you on how to use this computer. You don't just come and start just using the computer. There are rules on how to access computer and how to access window, and these are some of the medium on how to access your computer window. So each time you open you go ahead and minimize, you open, you minimize. So since I open this very application, there's no point of me coming to this place to open it. I can still come to here and open it. The reason why I'm coming to this place to open it, I've already explained. I told you that the application is running, so I can swear minimize. And the reason why I minimize, maybe I'm looking for something else. I mistakenly open the application. The Apple like that in phone, so you can go ahead and minimize it and later come back if you still want to use that window by clicking this place if you want to come back, and you can go ahead and close. Alright, so thank you very much. We are going to continue from this very point. Now we are still going to continue with some basic features of computer environment. Just stay connected with us and stay safe. God bless you. Thank you and remain blessed. Bye.